Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Gerry. Joining me on this fine day, we have Terry and Max, and we have to gently lob a match preview your way. So we've got Palace coming up. They are visiting Goodison, so that's cool. Always love a home game. Their current form right now, they're 14th in the table with 30 points. They're 7-9-9. Recently, they lost to Sheffield 1-0. They lost to Southampton 2-0. They drew 2-2 with City, and they drew 1-1 with Arsenal. Possible starters, Guaita, who actually had a little bit of a not the best game recently against Sheffield, but I think he owned up to it and was like, hey, I'll do better. So there's that. Ward, Tompkins, Cahill, Van Aanholt. And then it's going to be they've been running a 4-3-3 lately. So I think you may see Kouyaté, Milivojevic, or MacArthur, or you may see James McCarthy in there for one of those. So, yeah. Then you got Townsend, Jordan Ayew, and Zaha. I think danger men, we're looking at their front three. Van Aanholt coming down the wings. And maybe Benteke coming in because he's pretty good in the air. So, guys, where do we want to start on this? Terry, I think it's your turn to start. Any concerns about Palace, anything at all, where you're thinking, okay, this is where we need to worry, or are you feeling okay? Do we ever feel okay? That's a serious question.
No, never.
No.
Results like that Newcastle results happen. When can you feel okay?
Yeah, right.
Between the two whistles, I'm never okay. Same as every game at the minute, really. Central midfield. I think their central midfield has probably got the beating of ours, which is just bad, really, because one of them's a player we sold to them. But when you think of like mobility and work rate and whatnot, I think James McCarthy, Kouyaté and Milivojevic got the beating of Schneiderlin, Sigurdsson, and probably Tom Davis as well. Yeah, Delph's going to be banned, isn't he? So he can't play, but they probably have the beating of him too. So up front, it's Zaha, isn't it? Like he's the danger man. He's strong, he's fast, he can score. He's their best player. The other players a little bit hit and miss, Townsend and Ayew, but the centre midfield is what I really worry about. I think our right hand side, their left, will be something to watch because it'll be Sidibe versus Van Aanholt, and the two of them like to go a bit mad and go on long, high presses up the pitch and whatnot. So could be a bit of a battle, that one. But yeah, centre midfield, we've not got a lot of strength in there. We've got players, we've got bodies, but I don't really have a lot of faith in any of them. The ones who aren't injured, anyway.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you on these centre mid concerns because Andre Gomes is not back yet. Yeah,
especially if
I did like the pronunciation thing, by the way. I should just say Andre Gomes.
Especially if they play three players. Like we struggled with that against Watford. They had three players in the middle and we were getting overrun in the middle quite a lot. It's one of the sacrifices you make for playing 4-4-2. And obviously Watford have big physical players in there, and Palace won't be quite as strong as that for that. But I still think we'll struggle because, ironically, Delph, as poor as he's been at times, of the centre midfielders we've got fit, he's still the most mobile and the most able to get around the pitch. So now we're going to have probably the two training cones starting and Tom Davies come off the bench.
Max, where do you want to go with this, man?
I've got a lot of admiration for Crystal Palace. Like out of the London sides, I'd probably say the club that I like the most. Almost, I think they've got a tremendous fan base. They always turn up in numbers and they make a lot of noise.
I quite like that.
Traditionally, I've never viewed Palace as an easy game. Like even when they've come up in the Championship in the past, like they always play a low block and they're hard to beat. I particularly remember in the 13-14 season dropping points against them in that run up where we were trying to get the Champions League, and I think we
Yeah.
dropped points to them away, and we got beat by them at home when it was really crucial to beat them, and that was one of the results that ended up cocking up any hopes of Champions League for us. But again, I think when you're talking about Crystal Palace, you've got to put a huge amount of respect on Roy Hodgson's name for what he's doing. Like every season, it seems he's battling relegation, and they seem pretty. Well, I'm not going to say cut and dry, but they seem to have a decent, a sound distance between themselves and relegation at the minute. 14th, aren't they, Gerry? 14th, 30 points.
14th.
30 points, which is only 3 points off us.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we'll be taking this lightly by any means. Hard team to beat. But they had that City game away at the Etihad where Cenk Tosun got on the end of a James McCarthy corner, which was just bizarre. Didn't know James McCarthy could take corners like that. It was a very, very good corner.
Wish we had known.
I know, and then they played Arsenal where Jordan Ayew's come out with one of the goals of the season. If you remember that goal, slight downturn in results since then, but as I say, still 14th, good distance between themselves and the relegation zone, which, as we were discussing before the show started, as an organisation, Palace's objectives certainly are to prevent relegation and to stay in the Premier League for all the financial benefits that carries. So, as I was saying, I think Roy Hodgson's done a really good job, and bring it on. I think I'm going to take some respite from all these words and take myself down to Goodison to go and see it. And as I say, I expect to have a lot of the ball and a lot of probably going to be very frustrating in equal measures. But I feel like I say this most weeks about Everton. We should have enough quality to outdo them, but it's never that easy.
No, especially, I don't know. It's interesting. I've come to feel like our performance at home, I just sort of expect different things. I feel like when we go away, I'm just hoping, like when we were at Watford, I wasn't like overly impressed with our play overall. I walked away from that one and I was thinking, it's nice to, get a win like that when, did we deserve it? But then again, what does that mean, deserve? But that's the thing. Good teams, when they're beginning to hit a good run of form, they win games that maybe they probably should not win. I don't know if we're classified as a good team or not right now, but starting to pull points. We've given away some points from winnable locations as well. So it's been, the shoe has been on both feet.
We're second in the form table, Gerry, didn't you know?
Which is so nice. Yeah, I checked that out, and I will say, like, I don't know that Palace are doing great in the form table right now compared to how we are. But I always feel like when we play at home, I expect us to go at teams. That's what I feel like I'm expecting out of this one. But if they do play that low block like you're talking about, I'm curious to see how we penetrate. How good is our pick? Because if we have a Iwobi coming off the side or Bernard, because Ancelotti has those wings tucking in and actually giving us some penetration on the inside rather than just flanks every time, flanks. Yeah. So I'd be really curious to see if we can penetrate.
Yeah, it'd be lovely if we could see some success in that regard rather than frustration, because how many times have we seen this season, trying to work it from out wide, cutting in and just coming up against the brick wall. Yeah. So again, it's not an easy feat, but you would like to see players such as Bernard turn on the twinkle toes for this game.
Yeah, that's if he starts. And let's get into starters. Actually, I was going to lead with you, Max. Max, he's about to start talking starters, so Max is going to do starters now, and then we'll go to Terry and myself. So what do you got, Max?
Go on. I'm going to get I haven't penned anything down, so I'm just going to have a quick glance at the Watford team. I don't know. I'm on the same wavelength as you, Gerry. I don't think we played particularly well against Watford. I don't think it worked. Obviously by going 2 goals down and having to claw it back in that at the time of the first half just goes to show I did think we got it a bit wrong. Pickford, Sidibe, Mina, Holgate, Dean. again, I'm just thinking about the central midfield dilemma. It's not a pleasant thought process at all, because there's flaws in every sort of combination that you pick. There's no defensive cover in Davies and Sigurdsson whatsoever, but I think that's what it's going to
No.
be. I would like Bernard to start. I know it's probably going to be Iwobi, but he was substituted in the last game. I'm going to go Bernard and Walcott out wide, although I don't think Walcott played particularly well. He was one of the main culprits against Watford, coming up with that last minute winner. You know, you've done enough to secure your starting place there, and you know, the usual lads up front, Richie and DTL. Nice. That midfield just
I know,
shaky in it.
Yeah, we're all kind of. It's funny. You're sitting there writing down your lineup. You're like, la la la. These are good names, and then you get to the midfield, and you're like, damn, somebody has to play.
Well, did you see bizarrely, which blew me mind when I read it, that Ancelotti said Gomez may be in contention for the Arsenal game.
Arsenal, yeah.
So it's like 2-3 months out from a dislocated fracture of his ankle and he's back. What a man!
It's nuts to me.
What a man!
I thought Gabamian was going to be back before that.
Yeah, he got another surgery.
Yeah, poor guy. Jesus. So Terry, what do you got, man? Very, very similar names for the most part?
Yeah, more or less. I think it's only one player difference. So it'd be Pickford, Sidibe, Mina, Holgate, Dean, central midfield. I think it will be Schneiderlin and Sigurdsson.
Oh, I bypassed Schneiderlin altogether there. I'm sorry, but it probably will be.
Yeah, I have the same right there, by the way. So, yeah.
Schneiderlin, I think it'll be Schneiderlin and Sigurdsson, the dream team of that cup. You know, the men who bossed that game. I think he'll probably... I'd like to see Bernard start on the left, but I think it will be Iwobi again, because you're still getting to see Iwobi, isn't he? And Walcott on the right, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front. So I think that's only two different from Max.
Yeah, I think all of mine are exactly like yours, Terry. Pickford, Sidibe, Mina, Holgate, Dean, Sigurdsson, Schneiderlin. I've written down Iwobi / Bernard, but I do think it's going to be Iwobi at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me if it is Bernard, though. You know what I mean? If he's sitting there thinking that Iwobi is coming off of injury, it would be his first match back. Maybe he wants a little rotation. It would not surprise me, because it's not a situation where Palace are as big and as physical as Watford. Remember, we were talking last week about how we were concerned about Watford because how they were bigger and physical, and that to me is reason enough for Bernard not to start. But if they're not as physical, I could see it. I could see Bernard playing, and I'd be fine with it. Really, why not? You know, I mean, he gives us an additional penetrating option from the left, which Iwobi's good at from that spot, and so is Bernard. So I've written down Iwobi, but the more you say it, Max, Bernard, I could see it. And Walcott, Richarlison, DCL. So that's pretty straightforward. Anything else before we lay some predictions on, guys?
No.
All right. So, Terry, what's your prediction, dude?
As good as Palace are away from home, we're pretty, barring the odd occasion, pretty solid at home. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Be a tough game, but I think we'll win.
Okay. Max, what do you got?
I'm going to say 1-1. Just to sort of under-promise and hope that they over-deliver, you know what I mean? I've just... After that Watford win, it's just very Everton of us not to continue the momentum, I'd say. I don't know. I'd love to see us, as you say, Gerry, when it comes to Everton at home, I think, right, every team that's outside of the top six, we should be blowing out the water, but it hasn't proved to be. So,
no.
Fingers crossed we turn up, eh?
Yeah, I usually when we do these match preview predictions, when all three of us pick a win, that's when to beware. You know what I mean? It's almost as though all of us are looking past the team we're playing, so the squad ends up doing the same thing. It's like a group mentality kind of thing. I'm so glad, Max, that you picked a draw. I have a 2-1 win for Everton. I think it will be a close game. It's hard for me to imagine a clean sheet. It's hard for me to imagine clean sheets these days. It just is, you know. But I can imagine a win. I'm hoping that we're riding some good momentum, some positive momentum. But Max, I'm really glad you picked the draw to not give us a sweep of winning predictions. So, yeah, good. I'm not superstitious or anything, but yeah. All right, cool. So, 2-0, 1-1, 2-1. Those are the predictions. We'll see. Are they right? Sometimes, you know. So I guess that's it. Nothing else on this match preview, gentlemen. If you've been digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues. We'd really appreciate it. If you want more Max, he's got his own. I can't even call it a spinoff because it's really just a Max venture. You know what I mean? It's all about Max and careers in football and business of football. So check out the Carlisle podcast. You can check out his Twitter. He'll tell you when and where to expect episodes on there. He always has a lot of really fascinating interviews on there with him. He's got the reins there.
Solo.
So check it out.
Sorry, Gerry. It's solo project like with a band.
Yes. Nice. The Max Carlisle experience. Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to say your full name. It always weirds you out. That's right. All right. And if you want more Terry, he shows up on the Liverpool Echo fan jury every so often. Take a look at his Twitter. He'll tell you when that happens. But you know what's always happening? Terry's beard and the hugs that you could be getting. So enjoy. If you get a hold of Terry, don't let go. Just saying. I mean, he probably won't. He might make it awkward, but it's okay. So that's it. That's the final video segment for you to be able to bask in these guys' essence. So we are going to move on to a quiz on the podcast. So if you're thinking, you know what, I want to keep hearing their voices and I want it to be in a competitive setting, check out the podcast. It is a quiz. It's a starting 11 quiz. So check that out if you want. And if not, we'll miss you. And I'm not going to quote Austin Powers about it. That's all I've got. Much love to you. And for Terry and Max, we need more points. So let's do this. Bye-bye.